What's good, y'all? About 6 in the morning now. Much love to all the people active early. Refresh from the night before. Some people only need 2-3 hours of sleep. Some people have drained their whole aura. Some people drain all the energy they have for the day. Need that good 9-10. You know what I mean? Sometimes it still ain't enough for a lot of people. But for the ones who's active, up, energetic, welcome, much love. Please come in. This video was inspired by a small rant that that comes out of me at times when sometimes when the frustration for me builds to a degree, I instantly gotta get that out. Usually I'm good with just, speaking to my higher self out loud and things like that, releasing that energy just in my own space. But sometimes a lot of the time for me, I think that what I say needs to be heard. I truly have faith in my energy and the power of myself. And, I don't get too much feedback. Of course not. But at the end of the day, I know I know that I'm touching very sensitive, very key aspects of people that people don't touch themselves. But back to the topic of discussion. Again, this was inspired by a spur of the moment. That's usually when I do these videos. It's a free flow kind of thing. The universe put it in my head, it'll plan it, and then it'll manifest, and then I'm like, all right, it's about that time. So this video is about being prisoners of war from a black man's perspective. Me being the longest lasting specimen or race on this planet, I believe that I can tell the story of humanity way better than a lot of people, truthfully. Now, being a prisoner of war is simple to understand in itself. In order to enslave a person, an individual, or a group of people, right? You have to convince them that they cannot save themselves. Mentally, physically, and on whatever aspect that may include, on a spiritual aspect as well. Now, the spiritual aspect is very important because this is what religion has done to the entire world. You understand? Your race does not matter. This is a Freemasonic agenda, and you have to understand that. Religion was given to man or to human beings in order for God to forget he is God. Religion was initially given to the black races, the melanated people on this planet, in order to keep us from understanding that we are the saviors of ourselves. Now, outside of giving this to the original being on the planet, religion has also been revised and remixed for everyone of every faction, ethnicity, for everyone of every caliber to adopt. Because this concept of needing a savior needed to be globalized. You understand? Now, with the indoctrination of religion inside of a being, you have cleared the path, right? The oppressor, the conqueror, has cleared the path for any form of destruction that he wants to do. And he predicated it on a mystery man in the motherfucking sky. Saying that if you have blind faith, not faith, but blind faith in the word, in the teachings, and in these textbooks, if you believe in a savior, then you will be saved. But the trick to religion is believing that the savior is outside of you, which puts the individual in a constant waiting position. It puts his entire being at a standstill, simultaneously keeping hope alive that one day someone outside of himself will come and save him. This is slavery, y'all. The imprisonment of your being as an individual to keep right as possible and keep wrong almost non-existent. This is why religion was given to the people. Now we're talking about being prisoners of war. Now, history in the last couple thousand years has perceived this idea that it was strength and might and courage and bravery that made the world the way it was today. That it was good forces against evil forces that have somehow saved us. Somehow, some way. Now, we got to understand that the only way you can war on a people is if this entire group of people don't have the complete understanding that they're going to save themselves on every frequency. Your enemy is not looking to save you. For our enemy, for what he is weak. He is not strong. He is not powerful. He finesses the strongest beings on the planet in order for his weak, wicked tendencies to flourish with no obstruction, with no roadblocks or no nothing to get in the way of his path. Prisoners of war, ladies and gentlemen, is all of us. Slavery, outside of what it physically was at a point in time, you have to understand, slavery did not start physical, y'all. Slavery started with the idea that you cannot save yourself. Slavery started with the idea that you are not the God, that you are waiting on a God. Okay? We have to understand that. Now, I want to dive a little more deeper into the prisoner of war understanding, or the slavery understanding. That just being a citizen of whatever government regime is over that land at that point in time, when you become a citizen of that government power, you are indoctrinating yourself subconsciously into another form of slavery. Now, let's not pretend like slavery is not a very, very existent thing. Now, citizenship is amongst everyone, right? Everybody has a birth certificate. Everyone is born with a social security card. You see, two forms of identifying who you are in the system through the government's permission. Off rip, as a baby, you was born into slavery. Just having a birth certificate and just having a social security card. Being born in a hospital made you a slave. Simple. Let's get a little deeper now. We're talking about realistic understandings, y'all. We're talking about logistic perceptions and conceiving the world properly. You understand? If any one of us was to go on a plane or attempt to go on a plane to go to another land across this water, right? If I don't have the funds to access this plane, if I don't have proper identification to access this plane. But thirdly, and I feel like the most important, if the person or beings that have been put in charge to operate the accessibility of people coming and going from this airport, if these people of authority decide they don't want me to leave, if enough authoritative power is present at the time, he can make that a reality. Y'all have to understand that. You can't just go nowhere. Whether we're talking about jumping on a plane, whether we're talking about jumping in the car and making a cross-country trip across America. You need permission to take your ass across them states, man. Tolls, for instance. You can go through the toll. Whether you pay now or you pay later, you're going to pay for the permission we gave you for crossing into another area. Simple. If you can't jump on a plane right now, fam, and take your ass to Europe, if you can't jump on a plane and just go to China, understand you are a slave to the governments that have institutionalized your lifestyle. Now, me personally, I've learned to detach from certain emotions when it comes to speaking about real world events, because I understand this is not just me. It's an understanding that a lot of people don't want to resonate with. See, again, I think people are a whole lot smarter than they believe themselves. You know you a slave, dog. To earn a living is a clear indication that you are a prisoner of a war that you lost. As a black man, I understand I've been losing a war for a very long time. And my comrades no longer are my comrades. The people that are supposed to aid me in my fight, in our fight, no longer understand that they're in a war zone. Meanwhile, people from my caliber or my environment understand that we come from the trenches. We got your opposition is the little black is your neighbor, but the true opposition you never minded. Now, this piece I'm speaking on black people in particular. I don't attack my people. I don't speak at you. I talk to you because I'm come from where you come from. Simple. But at the end of the day, you've never minded your enemy for too damn long. All of us. Again, I'm black first, so I speak on my people first because that's what I do and that's what I am, and I'm proud of who I am. But I live for all righteous beings on this planet. Just like the brother Malcolm X, who came before me, which is one of the best spirit guides that any person on the planet can follow behind and grow to see this man as a father figure. And one day grow to be like him in some aspects. So I'm on the timing of my late brother Malcolm X was on. You feel me? I know who my enemy is. I know who is involved in my evolutionary pool and who isn't. But at the end of the day, racism is a little man's game. Facts. Racism is a little man's game, y'all. You got to understand. The hillbilly man talking about, monkeys and niggers and this, that, and the third, and derogatory language that really holds no weight. You got to understand that's a level of ignorance, babe. The black man still fussing about white people this and white people that. That's a little man's game, dog. This ain't about ethnicity. This ain't about nationality. This ain't about species. They use that information to keep us all confused. And in that confusion, we are angry. But it's a man like me to clear all confusion on the board, babe. Because the mission is clear. It has always been clear. They've thrown so much bullshit on top of it. It created confusion on all aspects. But I'm here to clear confusion up. And with the help of everybody that engages with me and interacts with me, and, outside of me, because again, this is bigger than me. I'm always bigger than little old me. This is to spread the proper energy amongst the world, how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Straight like that. This is a free flowing energy, y'all. The way we speak, the way I talk, the way that we're supposed to live amongst each other is so effortless. We're putting too much emphasis on what it is to be a human, on what it is to be just a being on this planet. You know what I'm saying? It's simple. But understanding your position in reality is a part of coming together, Again, we are all slaves. Forget chains and whips, and you gotta understand that slavery came a couple thousand years later. You understand that? This was after the conquering of the mind. So you gotta never mind that. Forget physical slavery. It is a mental slavery, y'all. Y'all don't gotta fear the conqueror. He's supposed to fear you. It was Josh signing off.